Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Theater for Two. My name is Emily Robinson-Dykstra, and I am a Chicago-based actor and director. And I have directed a scene from A Doll's House today. And I will let my lovely actors introduce themselves right now.
Hello, my name is Melissa Harlow, and I am based out of St. Louis, Missouri. I will be playing Nora.
Hi, my name is Ian Miller. I'm also based out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm playing Nils Krogstad.
Well, hope you guys enjoy.
Speak low. My husband is at home.
Oh, never mind about that.
What do you want of me?
An explanation of something.
Make haste. What is it then?
You know, I suppose, that I have got my dismissal?
I couldn't prevent it. Mr. Krogstad, I fought as hard as I could on your side. It was no good.
Does your husband love you so little then? He knows what I can expose you to, and yet he ventures to...
How could you suppose that my husband has any knowledge of the sort?
I didn't suppose at all. It would not be the least like our dear Torvald Helmer to show so much courage.
Mr. Krogstad, a little respect for my husband, please?
Certainly. All the respect he deserves. But since you have kept the matter so secretly to yourself, I am bold to suppose that you have a little clearer idea than you had yesterday of what it actually is you have done.
More than you could ever teach me.
Yes, such as bad a lawyer as I am.
What do you want of me?
To see how you were, Mrs. Helmer. I've been thinking about you all day long. A mere cashier, a quill driver, well, a man like me, even he has that thing they call feeling, you know.
Show it then. Think of my little children.
Have you or your husband thought of mine? But never mind about that. I just came to say that there's no reason to worry so much about all this. In the first place, there will be no accusation made on my part.
No, of course not. I was sure of that.
The whole thing can be arranged amicably. No one should know anything about it. The whole thing can be kept just between us three.
My husband must not get to know anything of the sort.
Well, how would you prevent it? Do you mean to say you have the means to pay that what is owing?
No, not just at present.
Or perhaps you have some expedient for raising the money soon?
No expedient that I mean to make use of.
Well, in any case, it would be of little use to you now. If you stood there with ever so much money in your hands, I would not release your bond.
Tell me what purpose you mean to put it to.
I mean to possess it. Keep it on my person. No one who is not concerned with this matter will have even the slightest idea what is going on. So if the thought of it had given you some desperate resolution,
it had,
or has driven you to go away from your home,
I had,
or to do something even worse,
how could you know that?
Give up the idea.
How could you know that I had thought of that?
We all think about that at first. I thought about it too. I just didn't have the courage.
No more had I.
That's it then, you hadn't the courage either?
No, I hadn't.
Besides, the whole thing would have been a great piece of folly. After the first storm at home is over, I have a letter for your husband in my pocket.
Telling him everything?
In as lenient a matter as I could.
Mustn't get that letter. Tear it up. I will find means of getting the money.
I believe I told you just now, Mrs. Helmer, that I am not
speaking of what I owe you. Tell me what sum you are asking of my husband, and I will find a way of getting the money.
I am not asking your husband for a penny.
What do you want, then?
I will tell you. I want to rehabilitate myself, Mrs. Helmer. I want to get on. And for that, your husband must help me. For the last year and a half, I have not had a hand in anything dishonorable. And yet, amid all that time, I have been struggling with most restricted circumstances. I was content. to build my way up step by step. And now I'm turned out. And I will not be satisfied to be found in favor again. I want to get on, I tell you. I want a position at the bank again. I want a higher position. For this, your husband must make a place for me.
That is a thing you will never see.
He will. He will do this for me. I know him. He dare not protest. And afterwards, when I'm back in there, you will see. In a year's time, I shall be the right hand of the bank manager. It'll be Niels Krogstad and not Torvald Helmer who is managing the bank.
That is a thing he will never do.
You mean that you will?
I have courage enough for it now.
No, you can't frighten me. A fine, spoiled lady like you could
You'll
never.
see. You will see.
Under the ice, perhaps? Down in the cold, cold black water? And then in the spring to float up to the surface. All horrid and unrecognizable, and all your hair fallen out.
You can't frighten me.
Nor you me. People don't do such things, Mrs. Helmer. And it would do you no good. Your husband will be well within my power by then.
Afterwards, when I am no longer...
Have you forgotten that it is I who has been keeping your reputation? Well, now I have threatened you. Don't do anything foolish. When your husband gets my letter, I will expect a response. And keep in mind, Mrs. Helmer, it is your husband himself who has forced me into such ways as this again. And I will not forgive him for that. Goodbye, Mrs. Helmer.